If I had to start with just $100 and no experience, this is exactly how I built a $1,000 a day lawn care business from the ground up. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact equipment setups for any budget, $100, $1,000, and $10,000. How to price your jobs for profit and scale with confidence, how to turn one-time customers into monthly contracts, what upsells make the most money and how to even pitch them, how to quote jobs correctly so you don't waste time or get underpaid, how to stay profitable in the off-season with a pressure washing, trash can cleaning, and even more service businesses, and the tools I use inside of Quote IQ that helped me go from stressed, disorganized, to quoting faster, closing more, and never missing a lead. And I'm not just talking theory, I'm showing you real examples, real numbers, and the exact methods I use to build this into a serious business. Also, stick around because at the end of this video, I'm going to expose an industry secret that can 10x your lawn care income without adding a single extra yard to your schedule. If you're trying to grow smarter, not just harder, you need to see this. Let's get into it. But before we get into it, there are two things that you need before starting any business, because the difference between struggling and actually making money comes down to having the right systems from day one. First, you need a way to manage everything in one place: quotes, invoices, customer follow-ups, without juggling spreadsheets or forgetting to send invoices, and for that I recommend Quote IQ. It's designed to handle everything you need to stay organized and professional so that you can focus on making money, not on paperwork. It's the best business management software for the home service industry. And number two, you need paying customers, because without customers you have no business and you're making no money. If you guys want to learn how I got my first $20,000 in customers without spending the money on ads, passing out flyers, cold calling, or even knocking on doors with just 5 minutes of work a day from my phone, then check out my lead flow generator course. It'll be the second link in the comment section and the description. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the video. Section 1, equipment and its 3 levels. Alright, let's break down gear, because this is where people either get stuck or they waste money. I'm going to show you what you need for 3 different levels: a $100 setup, a $1,000 setup, and a full $10,000 pro rig. Each one of these setups is capable of making money, but I'll show you what each level really gets you in speed, pricing, power, and appearance. Level 1, the $100 setup, starter mode. This is where I started. If you're broke or just testing the waters, this setup works. Used push mower from Facebook Marketplace, $60. Borrowed or cheap, electric weed eater, $25. Broom or cheap blower, $10. Gas can and string line, $5. The total, about $100. You're not going to be flying through lawns with this gear, but that's not the point. The setup is for learning the business and getting your first few customers. I use this to cut lawns for $35 to $45 each. I did 3 jobs in a day, made $120, reinvested 40 of it back into the gear the next week. Things to know: you're going to move slower, but it's low risk and super low startup. Push mowers suck on thick or tall grass, but you'll learn how to hustle. You'll sweat a lot. And kind of a pro tip, if this is your starting point, make every job count. Knock doors right after you finish a lawn. Your first customer is your best advertisement. Level 2, the $1,000 setup. Once you get a little traction, this is a setup that gets you taken seriously and makes your life 10 times easier. Self-propelled mower, Honda, Toro, $400 to $600. Gas trimmer, $150 to $200. Handheld gas blower, $150. Basic racks, gas cans, strap downs, $100. Branding, magnets, t-shirts, etc., $50. Total, about $1,000. This setup is way faster and cleaner. You'll cut your lawn time in half, especially with a self-propelled mower. That's a game changer when you're doing more than 2 yards in a day. You can now charge about $50 to $65 per lawn because the work is better and faster. The customers feel more confident when they see branded gear and cleaner lines. This setup fits in the back of a pickup, no trailer needed. Trimmer racks help to stay organized and professional. Get a high wheel mower if possible for better traction. I remember pulling into a nice neighborhood with my $1,000 setup, clean shirt, magnet on the truck, blower fired up. A neighbor across the street walked over and asked if I could do her yard too. That one job turned into a $200 a month recurring client. Make sure that you remember to reinvest in maintenance, sharpen blades every 10 to 15 cuts, and keep your equipment clean. A sharp blade equals cleaner lines equals better tips. Level 3, the $10,000 setup. This is when you're all in. You've got consistent clients you're looking to scale, maybe hire a helper, and start knocking out 6 to 10 lawns a day with ease. Here's what that looks like. Zero-turn commercial mower, $4,000 to $6,000. Backpack blower, $400 to $600. Commercial string trimmer, $300. Enclosed or open trailer with ramp, $1,500 to $2,000. Hedge trimmer, pole, saw, sprayer, whatever, $300. Wraps, branded signs, pro uniforms. Google listings, $500 plus. Total $9,000 to $10,000. This setup screams professional. You show up with this rig and you can start charging real rates, $75 to $100 per lawn, $200 plus for larger properties, and you can stack upsells like mulch installs or shrub trimming. You also save a ton of time, 0 turns, cut massive yards in 15 minutes, backpack blowers clear sidewalks in seconds, and every tool has its place in your trailer. I landed a $450 a month contract just because I rolled up with the trailer, 0 turn and matching shirts. The customer literally said, "I can tell you know what you're doing." That kind of presentation makes quoting 10 times easier. People trust you more and they rarely are going to haggle. Pro tip though, don't just jump to this level until your schedule justifies it. Start small, reinvest, and grow smart. I waited until I was doing $500 plus weeks consistently before even upgrading to a trailer. So just to summarize that up for you, a $100 setup is going to make you money, but it's slow and grindy. $1,000 setup is the sweet spot for solo operators. $10,000 setup is for scaling, looking professional, and charging top dollar. No matter where you start, the key is to reinvest your profits back into better gear that helps you do more in less time. Section number 2, pricing plus scaling. All right, now that we've covered equipment, let's talk about the part that actually pays the bills, pricing. When I started, I had no clue what to charge. I was asking other guys, Googling stuff, but the truth is, everyone's market is different. So you gotta learn what works in your area and what your time is worth. Here's how I learned to price and how it scaled with me. Stage 1, beginner pricing, $30 to $40 per job. When I first got started, I was charging $30 to $40 for a lawn, mostly push mower work and small residential yards. I was just trying to get my name out there and didn't have the confidence to really charge more. I'd post in Facebook groups and say, offering lawn cuts for $35, local and reliable, message me for availability. Eventually, people started messaging in. I landed 3 customers in the first week. One guy had a corner lot with a hill in the back. I charged him $35. It took me over an hour and I was soaked in sweat. That's kind of when it clicked for me though. I wasn't charging for my time. Stage 2, charging based on time, $1 per minute rule. This is kind of when I started using what I call the $1 per minute rule. If I'm going to be there for 45 minutes, I need to be charging at least $45 to $50. If it's thick grass, long edges, or trimming involved, I'll go even higher. Once I started doing that, I noticed a shift. I was making more money, working less, and customers still said yes. Stage number 3, route density. You want to stack jobs, that way you can stack cash. This next part is really how you start printing money, route density. Once I had about 10 regular customers, I started planning my week by neighborhood. I'd hit 3 to 4 houses on the same block. You cut your drive time, gas cost, and you're knocking out jobs back to back. I had one Wednesday where I hit 5 houses in 4 hours, $60 per lawn. That's $300 before lunch. And another pro tip, every time you finish a yard, knock 2 to 3 doors around it. Say, hey, I just cut your neighbor's lawn, offering the same deal. If you ever need someone dependable, it works. Stage number 4, raising prices as you grow. Once your schedule starts filling up and you've got proof of quality, that's when you raise your prices. At this point, I was booked out a week ahead. I was doing better work, finishing faster, and looked more professional. So that kind of gave me the opportunity to bump $50 jobs to $60 to $65 jobs. And guess what? Nobody complained because I had built trust. I'd show up on time, do clean work, and people valued it. How do you do it right though? New customers, quote them at your new price. No explanation needed. Existing customers, give them a heads up and try to justify it the best you can. Say, hey, I'm updating my prices starting next month. Fuel's going up and I'm improving equipment to keep quality high. Your new rate will be $60. 9 out of 10 said no problem. Stage number 5, tiered pricing equals $1,000 days. Now, here's how you go from $100 to $200 days to hitting that $1,000 a day number. It's not just $1,000 job. It's stacking the right jobs. One bed cleanup equals $200. One bush trimming equals $150. One mulch install, $250. Tips plus add-ons, $50 plus. Total, $910 to $1,000 in a day. And the best part though, every one of those came from people I was already mowing for. That's the power of recurring clients and upsells. Always remember as well, the cleaner your work, the easier it is to sell extras. Show them the edge line, the trim bushes, then offer a refresh of mulch add-on. Most people want their yard to look perfect, they just don't know what to ask for until you suggest it. Section number 3, monthly subscriptions and upsells. Now that you're pricing your jobs correctly and you're starting to build a client base, this is where you really need to stabilize your income, subscriptions and upsells. I didn't get to $1,000 days by cutting 20 random lawns a week. I got there by turning one-time customers into monthly clients and by stacking services they didn't even know they needed until I offered them. Step number 1, sell reliability with a monthly plan. Most people don't want to think about lawn care, they just want it handled. So after that first job, I always pitched a simple monthly plan, something like this. Hey, I can come out every 2 weeks and keep everything looking sharp. edging, mowing, and cleanup included. I charged $180 a month, and you don't even have to think about it. The funny part is, when you frame it like that, stress-free, consistent, it's an easy yes. One time I did a first cut for a guy named Marcus. His backyard was a mess. Hadn't been mowed in over a month. I cleaned it up, hit the edges, made the whole thing look dialed in. As I was packing up, I decided to walk over and I said, hey man, now that it's all cleaned up, I've got a few clients in the area that I service every 2 weeks. If you want to lock in a spot, I can come every other Friday and keep this thing looking fresh. It'd be $180 a month. It'll include everything that we did today. Let me tell you, he looked at that yard, nodded, and said, yeah, I don't ever want it to get like this again. Let's do it. Step number 2, add-on services equals bigger paychecks. Here's the thing, mowing is your foot in the door, but the real money comes from upsells. Once you're already there, trimming people's property, edging, looking the place over, offer to do things that make their yard look next level. Here's a few things that you can offer. Bed cleanup, removes weeds, re-edge the flower beds, bush trimming, especially overgrown front yard shrubs, mulch installs, it's gonna make everything pop and people love it. These services can easily turn a $60 yard into a $200+ job. I get it though, it might sound a little difficult, so here's how I pitch it. I don't make it complicated. After mowing, I'll say this, hey, while I was working, I noticed your front bed's getting a little overgrown. I can clean it up, edge it out, and knock back those bushes for $75 if you want. It won't take me long since I've already got my tools out. Simple, professional, helpful. You're not being pushy, you're solving a problem they probably didn't even see and didn't know that they could solve. And another pro tip, always assume the add-on sale. People like being told what makes their yard look good. They're not the expert, you are. How this stacks up, let me give you a breakdown of how this multiplies. Mowing, $60. Add bush trimming, $75. Add bed cleanup, $85. Offer monthly, $180 a month. That's over $300 from one yard, and they're gonna keep calling you back. And remember, the more often you're there, the less work each visit actually is. You're spending less time per job, but stacking more cash. Section number 4, insurance. Let me say this right now. Get insurance. It's not optional. I don't care if you've only got 3 clients and a $200 mower in the back of your car. The second something goes wrong, you're going to wish that you were covered. And trust me, something will eventually go wrong. Why do you actually need it though? I'll never forget this time that I had a job on a tight corner lot. I was trimming along the fence line and hit a rock the size of a golf ball. This thing shot out from under the trimmer, smacked the customer's glass patio door, crack. Instantly. Now, let's imagine if I didn't have coverage. That door could have costed me $400, maybe even more, but instead I made a quick call to my insurance agent, sent over the pictures and the invoice, and it was taken care of quickly. No arguing, no stress, no out-of-pocket nightmare. That one moment paid for an entire year of coverage. What type of insurance do you need? Let me break it down. Number 1, general liability insurance. This is your number 1 priority. It covers accidental damage to a customer's property or injury on site. Here's an example. Break a window, knock over a sprinkler, dog gets out, this covers you. It's going to cost usually about $30 to $60 a month depending on the coverage amount and location. You can get $1 million in coverage for about $500 a year. Number 2, equipment insurance. It's obviously optional, but if you've ever invested in a trailer, zero turn, or higher end tools, you may want to cover those too. It protects you if something gets stolen, lost in a fire, or damaged in transport. It's not going to be essential for beginners, but important once you decide to scale. What might that cost you? It varies, but most add-ons are about $10 to $20 per month depending on what you're insuring. How do you get it? You can get quotes online through maybe even Next Insurance, Hiscox, Thimble, which is great for one-off jobs if you're just testing the waters, or even through your current car/home insurer. Sometimes bundling gives you a discount. And please remember, don't just get coverage, save the contact info from your rep. If something goes wrong mid-job, you'll want to handle it fast without slowing your day down. Now let's get to the fun part. What happens if you skip it? Customer's kid trips on your blower cord, that could be a $10,000 lawsuit. You damage a lawn with a leaking mower or spray, they can charge you for resodding. Blow a window out in the luxury home, that's $1,500 gone just like that. Do you have it? And if you don't have coverage, you either come out of pocket or you have to ghost a client and damage your name. Either way, it's bad business. The best part about it that I haven't even mentioned is you can use it as a selling point. This one's underrated. Trust me, when I quote a job, I'll mention in passing, I'm fully insured and operate as a registered business, just here to take care of you long term. Most people don't even ask, but saying that out loud builds trust, especially with high income customers who have been burned before. But before we move on, I've got to put you onto something that completely changed the way I quote jobs, and I don't say that lightly. It's called Map Measure Pro, and it's inside of Quote IQ. Let me explain how it works and why it's a complete game changer, especially in this industry. Back in the day, or not really even that long ago, I used to spend half a day driving around just quoting jobs. I'd get a message like, hey, can you come by and give me a price on mowing? I'd plug in the address, drive 20 minutes, walk the property, write something down. Sometimes they wouldn't even answer the door, just get ghosted. Now, multiply that by 5 or 6 quotes a week, and it starts eating up your schedule, your gas, and your patience. But hey, what's the new optimal way of going about things? Using Map Measure Pro. With Map Measure Pro, I just ask for the customer's address, I punch it into the app, and with a few seconds, I've got a satellite image of their entire property. I can trace out the yard, measure square footage, look at back gate access, backyard layout, literally everything I need to give a confident quote without ever having to leave the house. Then I can even message them back. Hey, so-and-so, based on the layout, I charge $65 for bi-weekly service, includes mowing, trimming, and cleanup. Boom. Clean, professional, not a single moment wasted. Let me give you real numbers again just to show you how much time you're actually saving. I used to spend 6 to 8 hours a week quoting jobs. Now with Map Measure Pro, I spend maybe 20 to 30 minutes total. That's 6+ hours I get to go back to doing whatever I want. More actual work, hitting the gym, spending time with my girlfriend, or even quoting more jobs remotely and close more clients. And it's not just me. I know guys in this space doing pressure washing, lawn care, window cleaning, junk removal, all using this to scale faster without having to waste their day driving around. And another pro tip, close more, look legit. When a customer sees that you were able to send a detailed quote just from their address, it makes you look dialed in. It says, I've got systems. I'm not just some random guy with a mower in his truck. It's 2025. If you're still manually quoting every yard in person, you're just giving away your time. And honestly, you're ready to get beat. Let's get into section number 5, seasonality plus off-season services. Let's talk about seasonality and how to keep your income flowing year-round. Because depending on where you live, this business either runs 12 months a year or it slows down hard in the fall and winter. And if you're not prepared for that, your income disappears real quick. Obviously, a big factor is where you live. I'm in Louisiana, and down here, grass grows for most of the year. It's hot, humid, and a lot of customers need their yards cut from March through November, sometimes even in December depending on the weather. But we do get a couple of slower months, usually December and January, when the grass dies down and people pause service. I would say that's when a lot of guys start panicking and scrambling, but if you plan ahead, the off-season can actually be one of your best money-making opportunities. I treat lawn care like the base of my business, but I stack other services on top whenever mowing slows down. Here's what I offer in the off-season and how it keeps money coming in without even finding new customers. Number 1, pressure washing, driveways, walkways, siding. Everybody's got grime built up, and once mowing stops, they finally notice it. I send a message to all my current lawn clients, hey, I'm offering pressure washing now that grass is slowing down. Driveways start at $100. Let me know if you want a quote. I can knock it out the next time I'm in your area. It's an easy upsell, and I've done $250 to $300 days just washing concrete. Number 2, window cleaning. People forget how dirty their windows are until the sun hits them just right. You don't need expensive equipment, just a good squeegee, a bucket, and some elbow grease. One of my lawn customers had me do his windows in December, paid me $175, and even tipped me $25 because he hated doing it himself. That's your opportunity. Number 3, trash can cleaning. This one is absolutely slept on, but it works. During slow months, I offer to clean and disinfect my customers' trash cans, especially after the holidays when people are throwing out food, wrapping paper, and all kinds of nasty stuff. All you need is a pressure washer, a degreaser, a bottle of Fabuloso, $20 to $40 per can, and I've knocked out 10 in a morning. That's a solid $300 to $400 when nothing else is happening. Number 4, small landscaping projects. During the winter, people want their flower beds cleaned up, bushes trimmed, and mulch refreshed. These are quick turn, high margin jobs. One mulch install alone can bring in $250 plus and take just 1 to 2 hours if you plan it right. And the best part, you're offering this to customers who already trust you. No cold outreach, no convincing, just an upsell. Why does this work though? When you don't offer anything in the off season, your business dies for 2 to 3 months, but when you stack in these extra services, you're still active, still visible, and still making money. You don't need 50 new clients. You just need to remarket to your existing ones with relevant offers, people who already trust you and already know you. Another pro tip, pre-sell your off season. At the end of mowing season, I shoot a text to all of my regulars. Hey, just a heads up, offer a few winter services too, like trash can cleaning, pressure washing, and mulch installs. Let me know if you want to book anything while slots are open. You'd be surprised how many yeses you get before the season even ends. Section number 6, marketing your lawn care business, basic to your breakthrough. Alright, let's talk about marketing because you have to have the best equipment, the cleanest cuts, and perfect pricing. But if nobody knows who you are, none of that matters. When I first started, I didn't have a logo, no website, nothing. I just needed people to know that I could cut grass and show up on time. Here's exactly how I got my first clients and how you can do the same. Your first option is going to be flyers and door hangers. Print up some simple flyers or door hangers, nothing fancy, just your name, phone number, basic services, and maybe a photo or two just of a nice cut job. Go into a neighborhood and hit 30 to 50 houses at a time. Put the flyer or the door hanger on the door, not the mailbox. That is illegal in some areas. All you want to do is keep it simple and very direct. Hey, I'm offering affordable lawn care in your neighborhood, reliable, on time, and done right. Text me for a free quote. I actually got my first 5 customers doing this exact thing. Option number 2, door knocking. Now this one kind of takes guts, but it does work fast. Just knock on the door, smile, and say, hey, I just finished a yard down the street. I'm doing a few lawns in this neighborhood and I wanted to see if you'd like a quote. No pressure, just trying to help people out while I'm in the area. You actually would be shocked by how many people say yes, and even if they don't book that day, you leave a card or a flyer and now they've seen your face and know that you're serious. Option number 3, yard signs. Yard signs are super underrated. After every job I'd ask, mind if I leave a little small sign in the yard for a few days? It helps me get more local work. Most customers do not even care, and now every neighbor driving by sees your name and your phone number. Put them at major intersections as well, especially you want to put them near neighborhoods. Just make sure to follow city rules. Some places will remove them extremely fast. The fourth option, build a simple website. You don't need anything crazy, just a one-pager with what you do, where you work, contact information, maybe a booking form. This is going to make your business look 10 times more legit, even if it's just you with a mower in the back of a truck. Use something like Wix, Squarespace, or even Linktree if you want to keep it dead simple. Or Quote even has a thing now or a feature called AI website builder. Go ahead and check that out. What the breakthrough was for me though was my marketing strategy. Now look, all that stuff does work and it helped me get off the ground, but the thing that really blew up my business was my Facebook strategy. I made over $20,000 worth of jobs for free, no ads, no paid traffic, just a formula that I figured out after a little bit of trial and error. That strategy completely changed how I get leads. It's how I went from hoping for clients to waking up to client messages every single day asking me to book. If you want to see exactly how I did it step by step, I built a full walkthrough called the Lead Flow Generator. It's the exact method I used to generate over $20,000 in free jobs. Click the link in the comment section description to find it. Section number 7, the virtual call team. Real quick, let me tell you about something that saved me so much time. It's actually ridiculous. It's called the virtual call team and it's built right into QuoteIQ. Before I started using it, I was wasting hours every single week answering calls from clients during jobs, after hours, even while I was driving. I'd have to stop, answer, try to remember what they said, take notes on the fly, and half the time I'd forget a detail or forget to follow up altogether. Now it's all handled for me. Here's how it works. When somebody calls my business number, the virtual call team picks up. Not robotic at all, it's actually professional and friendly, like a real receptionist who knows what they're doing. The system asks all the right questions for me. What services do they need? Where are they located? When they're looking to book? Any special details or issues. Then on top of that, the entire conversation gets transcribed into the QuoteIQ app and I get notified instantly. No more missed calls, forgotten details, writing customer info on napkins or sticky notes. Everything is saved, organized, and ready for me to take action when I'm not even working. The real benefit for me though, now when I'm on a job, I don't have to worry about pulling out my phone every 15 minutes. I know my business is still running while I'm out working. It's the same peace of mind as having a receptionist without having to pay somebody hourly. Here's another pro tip though, even if you're just starting out solo, this makes you look like a legit company. When a customer hears a clear, friendly voice answer and takes down their info, they don't think side hustle anymore, they think real business, and that changes the way that they treat you. Section number 8, how to quote lawn care jobs like a pro. Quoting is one of the most important skills in this entire business. It's where most people get it completely wrong. They either quote way too low just to land the job, or they quote based on the size of the yard without actually thinking about what the customer really needs and what kind of customer they are. Step number 1, know your worth. When I was first starting out, I thought quoting was all about guessing a number that sounded fair, but quoting is really about understanding 3 different things. How long will the job take? How much effort it'll require? And what kind of customer are you actually dealing with? Because trust me, not all yards and not all customers are created equally. Step number 2 though, learn to read the customer. Let me break this down with some real examples. You pull up to one house, yard's clean, flower beds are edged, mulch is fresh. The customer steps out in business clothes and says, hey, just want to keep this looking sharp. Do you have any monthly plans or do you do any monthly plans? That's not a $45 yard. That's a $75 to $80 client because they value professionalism. They want someone reliable and they're not going to nickel and dime you. Now, Go down this street, yard hasn't been mowed in 6 weeks, toys in the grass, customer says, can you just give it a quick cut? That's not a weekly client. That's a one-off cleanup, and it's not $40, it's $90 or more because it's extra time, extra wear on your gear, and usually they're not tipping or referring you. Step number 3, know when to charge more. Here's when I automatically increase my quote. Even if the yard isn't massive, tall grass, or overgrowth, it takes longer and it's harder on your mower. A tight back gate. I have to carry my mower or use a smaller one. Obstacles like trampolines, dog toys, fire pits, that's time. Steep slopes or uneven terrain, safety risk, and slower pace. Out of area customer. If I have to drive far, that's cost of gas and time. Or the customer has a huge emphasis on perfection, it's going to take longer just to please that person. You start to see the patterns, and you adjust your quote not just on the yard, but based on the situation. How I actually quote though, if I'm quoting in person, I walk the entire property, I look at trimming, edging, cleanup, I ask what they're expecting weekly, bi-weekly, just one cut. I price based on how long it'll realistically take and what kind of experience I'm going to be delivering. If I'm quoting remotely with Map Measure Pro, I pull up the address, I look at the square footage and layout, I check for fencing, gate access, and distance from my other jobs. Then, if you want, I build in a buffer because if I can't see the grass condition, I quote assuming it's going to be a little bit rough. Here's an example. If it looks like a $60 lawn and I know it's a first time cut, I might quote $75, let them know that the regular rate would be lower if they stick with a plan with you. Don't be afraid to re-quote. Sometimes I show up and the job is way worse than the customer described and I'll just say, hey, I took a look around and it's a little more overgrown than expected. To do it right, I need to charge $85 today. If we keep it up regularly, I'll drop down to $60 immediately after that. It can either take it or leave it, but most people appreciate the honesty and will still want to go with it. But here are the most common mistakes lawn care startups make and why they usually fail. If you made it to this far into the video, first off, you're already doing better than most people who say that they want to start a business. But now I want to hit you with the real stuff. Because this industry, it's not hard to start, but it's very easy to fail if you make the common mistakes that a lot of people are. Mistake number 1, undercharging just to land a job. This is the number 1 mistake that new guys make. You're scared to lose the job, so you quote $30 or something that you should have been $60. And you do that 5 or 6 times a week. Now you're basically working for free. Worse though, you train your clients to expect bottom of the barrel pricing. Charge what your time is worth. The people who respect your work will stick around. The ones who don't, let them walk. Mistake number 2, driving all over town for $50 jobs. I've seen guys pack their schedules full but spend half the day driving across town. You can't make real money if your jobs aren't tight. Build route density. Stick to 2 to 3 neighborhoods and work them hard. Knock doors, leave flyers, talk to neighbors, maximize every stop. Mistake number 3, no upsells and no subscriptions. If all you offer is one-time cuts, you're resetting your business every single week. Turn one-time jobs into monthly clients, and once you're on the property, offer more. Cleanup, trimming, mulch, trash can cleaning, pressure washing. These add-ons are where you start to actually see $300+ days. Mistake number 4, doing everything manually. Guys burn out trying to answer every single call, remember every quote, drive to every house. I used to be that guy. Then I started using tools like QuoteIQ's virtual call team, handless calls, and logs customer info. Map Measure Pro lets me quote every job remotely. Time Tracker shows me which jobs are profitable and which aren't. If you're trying to scale without systems, you're going to run yourself into the ground. Mistake number 5, quitting too early. This one hurts the most because I've seen good people tap out before they ever gave it a real shot. The first few months will be slow, your gear won't be perfect, you'll get ghosted, underpaid, and probably work some weekends to catch up. But if you stick with it, you get faster, your clients start stacking, and your confidence goes through the roof. Real talk though, there were days that I wanted to throw in the towel, but I told myself I didn't come this far to go back to a job that I hated. I kept showing up, kept knocking doors, kept reinvesting, and eventually it all clicked. If you watch this entire video, now you have everything you need to start a lawn care business that can hit $1,000 days, whether you're starting with $100 or going all in. We broke down what equipment that you actually need at every single level, how to price your jobs for profit, not just survival, how to land monthly clients and upsell your way into $200 to $300 jobs, how to quote smarter based on real actual customer types, how to make money even when mowing season slows down, and the tools inside of QuoteIQ that save you time, close more jobs, and turn your business into a system. But here's the truth, most people won't do anything with this information. They'll watch, they'll nod, they'll go back to what they're doing as they've always done. If you want to be the one that actually makes it work, start taking action today. And if you want to see exactly how I generated over $20,000 in free leads without paying for a single ad, I built a full walkthrough of this exact strategy. It's called the lead flow generator, and I'll show you how to explode your bookings using nothing but your phone. Once again, if you're interested in that, you can grab that using the link in the description or the pinned comment down below. You don't need any more equipment. You don't need any more hours in the day. You just need the right strategy.